counselor? The judge asked. Yes, Your Honor. The attorney removed another piece of paper from underneath her notepad. This is a list of all the buses and their routes, marked D6, which is already in evidence. She put the paper down in front of the witness. Mr. Davies, according to these routes, do you see that the only bus that goes anywhere near your mother's nursing home no longer stops at the corner of Homestead Street and Green Street? The courtroom was silent as the witness stared at the piece of paper. He finally said, glancing over at his attorney before looking back down at the paper. Is that right? It is, the prosecuting attorney said. According to this notice, the route changed soon after you moved out of your wife's house. But you've previously stated that you regularly visit your mother at her nursing home, correct? Yes. The attorney smiled sympathetically at the witness. Do you see on this paper that this bus does service the stop near your current residence? Yes, Mr. Davies said, reaching for the life preserver he thought he was being offered. Yes, that's the bus stop I used to visit my mother. The defense attorney tensed as the judge's brows raised with curiosity. Then, Mr. Davies, the prosecuting attorney said, angling towards the jury, what were you doing with those flowers at this bus stop? The prosecuting attorney finished her questioning soon after, relinquishing the floor to the defense, who made his way to the witness stand. Mr. Davies, the attorney said, do you know who took these photos? The witness hesitated. There's a name, the attorney prompted, pointing at the paper. Mr. Davies squinted at the print below the photos in front of him. Charlotte Illes, he read. Do you know Charlotte Illes? No. Were you aware she was taking your photo? Not at the time. Do you know who she is? Mr. Davies gave a half shrug. I think she's a detective. The defense attorney pointed at the photos again. These photos are a bit blurry. He flashed a quick grin at the jury. Any blurrier, and I doubt they could have been admitted into evidence. Can you read the name of the store behind you in this photo? The prosecuting attorney stood. Your Honor, the witness already confirmed that he recognizes the bus stop in the photos. Ms. Illes' abilities as an investigator and a photographer aren't on trial here. The witness has already confirmed the location of the bus stop, counselor, the judge said sternly. Do you have anything else other than this line of questioning? The defense attorney hesitated, then squared his shoulders. No, Your Honor. No further questions. Dick, muttered a low voice from the back of the gallery. The defense attorney gestured towards the voice while chuckling tiredly. Your Honor. Ms. Illes, the judge said in the direction of the voice, I won't warn you again. One more word and you'll be escorted out. Charlotte Illes held up her hands to indicate apology, slumping down into her seat as the proceedings continued. She hadn't meant to say that out loud. Well, she had, but she hadn't meant for anyone to hear. After saying, ew, a little too loudly after Carly Davies described her husband calling her crazy for accusing him of cheating, Charlotte was determined to be on her best behavior. Mainly because she knew Mita wouldn't be very happy if she got kicked out of the courtroom, and she was a little scared of Mita. The judge adjourned for the day soon after. Charlotte lingered in the hallway, resting against the wall as she watched the prosecuting attorney speak to her client a few yards away. Susmita Ramachandran was wearing a dark blue sheath dress with a matching blazer, a black shoulder bag dangling from one hand as she put a reassuring hand on Carly Davies' arm before waving goodbye to the other woman. Her perfectly sculpted eyebrows raised sternly as her gaze landed on Charlotte. Uh-oh. Sorry, Charlotte said sheepishly, watching Carly Davies leave. About the dick thing. Charlotte Illes was once known as Lottie Illes, a precocious child sleuth who was regularly employed by kids and adults alike to solve their mysteries. As she grew older, she felt the need to grow out of detective work to see if she could find other things to be passionate about. Recently, she'd finally come to terms with there not being anything she enjoyed as much as sleuthing, and that maybe she didn't have to fully leave it in her past. After coming out of retirement from her kid detective days, Charlotte hadn't expected her mother and her brother Landon to immediately reach out to everyone they knew, telling them that Charlotte Illes was back in the detective business. In retrospect, she should have seen it coming, but had no idea how far they'd gone until she received the contact information for about a dozen miscellaneous acquaintances requesting her services. While she had no interest in taking on the case of the girl I briefly made eye contact with at the bar last week, or the case of what my son does in my basement all day, is Charlotte single?